Stay tuned for a word about animal companions and you. Hello everyone, and welcome back down here to the Gamer's Den with me, your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire, here to talk to you about the first edition Pathfinder Animal Companion ability. And again, we're doing this going over Treant Monk's build for the Switch Hitter Ranger, and we're also updating it just a little bit. Not that what Treant Monk did was necessarily bad, but because there are more books and supplements out there. So if this is your first time stepping into the series, go ahead and go back and watch the first couple of episodes so you get an idea of what we're doing. But before we get into those specific details, if you're new here to the channel, then go on down there and hit that subscribe button and become a regular member here at the Gamer's Den. Or if you're already listed on such a legendary roster of fine people such as that, then go on down to hit the like button and share the video far and wide to help us grow ever further. But now, let's go ahead and dig into this. So, for your animal companions, you get a link with your companion that gives you a +4 bonus to animal handling on some checks, particularly when it comes to teaching them new tricks and the like. So this is massively helpful for you, especially considering that this build does not focus much at all on charisma. In fact, charisma is our dump stat. So this is very, very handy. And then this will also allow you to share spells through your animal companion, meaning you can cast spells through them. This is an okay ability, but it's not that useful for you. This is better for clerics that might have an animal-related domain that lets them get an animal companion. And it's definitely more useful for druids as well, who have the full roster of spellcasting abilities. So you may not use that very much. Your animal companion, though, will also gain evasion, which will help reduce their damage when it comes to making reflex saves against things like traps, area of effect spells, and the like. You also get ability score increases for the animal companion every 4 levels, just like you. It also gains devotion, which provides the animal with a +4 morale bonus on will saves. And considering that you don't really want your buddy to turn around on you and begin mauling you, that's incredibly useful for surviving things like charm spells or illusions and the like. They will also gain multi-attack, which allows them to make multiple attacks if they have multiple means of attacking your opponents. They will then also at later levels gain improved evasion to help further increase the benefits of their reflex saves. But now that we've covered those generic things, we need to pick an animal companion. Also, remember that they will also gain feats as well, so you can have a very, very useful NPC companion to go into combat with you over and over again. Definitely a massive benefit. So now when it comes to picking out an animal companion, probably the go-to standard is a wolf. Wolves are a pretty darn good pick for you to have, and it's going to be classic and pretty reliable and easy for you to have your DM go, yeah, of course, you can have a wolf, because it's a fairly common animal in most fantasy settings. Its size will start off at medium, have a speed of 50 feet, it gains a +2 natural armor bonus to its AC, and it has a bite attack, which deals 1d6 damage, plus it has a tripping effect with it. And don't forget, if it's got a decent strength score, which it'll have at least a 13, you get a +1 bonus to your bite attack damage. Also has a dex of 15, con of 15, an intelligence of 2, a wisdom of 12, and a charisma of 6. And its special qualities are scent, so it can track things via its scent. Then the 7th level advancement kicks in. The wolf's size category increases to large, it gets a +2 natural armor bonus, and its bite attack goes up to 1d8 and still has that trip effect. The ability scores increase with a strength of +8, Dex gets a -2, and Constitution gets a +4, so this really boosts its ability to affect things in melee with a better attack, damage, and then has a better con. Its dexterity does go down by 1, so its armor class and reflex saves decrease, but overall, still, this is not bad at all. This is a really solid standby choice for you to go with, and like I said, your DM is most likely to approve this just based off of how common wolves are for most fantasy settings. But then our next choice, this is still going to be one that is reasonable. Most DMs, I can't imagine, would have much of a problem with this. You can all substitute the cheetah or leopard with, say, a mountain lion as well. I would class this in the same category. The size starts off at medium, has a speed of 40 feet, allowing it to maneuver around the battlefield really well. Armor class gets a +1 natural armor bonus, a bite attack of 1d6, and 2 claws coming in at 1d4 damage. The ability scores start off at a strength of 13, dex of 17, con of 13, intelligence of 2, wisdom of 15, and charisma of 10. Special attacks include rake for 1d4 damage, which essentially if you get the bite attack off and you grapple and hold, then the cheetah, leopard, mountain lion, whatever, gets to make a hindquarters attack using its back claws to just rake and tear into your opponents. Special qualities include low light vision and scent, so these animals will operate better in dark or nighttime conditions, which again just expands their utility and usefulness for you. And then the 7th level advancement kicks in and their size goes up to large. They get a +2 natural armor bonus to their AC. Attack bite goes up to a d8, the claws go up to 1d6, the ability scores increase by that same +8 bonus to strength, -2 penalty to dex, and a constitution bonus of +4. And then their special attacks include grab, pounce, and you still get rake, which again just allows them to maneuver, tear into opponents, dive onto them, grapple better. All the way around, this just works much, much better, and cheetahs and leopards are probably what I would recommend over the wolf, but depending on the setting and scenario, your DM may question, okay, how do you have a cheetah or leopard? So you just go to, oh, it's a mountain lion, then we'll go with a mountain lion, because if you're near a temperate forest, hilly, rocky, mountainous region, then yeah, that's definitely much easier to go with, and I would follow the same statistics here. But there is one other option I want to bring up here. One really great one that it's a kind of animal that keeps getting forgotten about in most of these D&D and Pathfinder settings. And it's one that is going to be fantastic, but your DM may decide to disallow it. It may not. He may say, okay, how the hell do you have that? So pick these if you can, but don't be surprised if your DM says no. And that's dinosaurs. In this case, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Size starts off at medium, speed of 30 feet, its armor class gets a +4 natural armor bonus, its bite attack starts off at a 1d8. Ability scores start off with a strength of 14, a dex of 16, con of 10, intelligence of 2, wisdom 15, and charisma 10. Special qualities include low light vision and scent. And then once you get to the 7th level advancement, the size goes up to large, armor class gets another +3 natural armor bonus, its bite attack goes up to 2d6, ability score increases and create a bonus of +8 to strength, -2 to the dexterity, and a +4 bonus to con. And special attacks include grab and powerful bite. Just those massive powerful jaws just do wonderful things for you. It's absolutely incredible. But if you go to any of the other dinosaurs, you're going to find that they're still really solid picks. The Ankylosaurus, the Allosaurus, Velociraptors, they are all great options for you. In fact, the Velociraptor is probably similarly on par to the large cat category of creatures, lions and tigers. Lions and tigers are another incredible choice for you to make, and possibly easier for you to have than, say, any of the dinosaurs. But if you can get a dinosaur, take a dinosaur with you. If you are worried about things like, how it's a cold-blooded lizard creature with, Velociraptor has some feathers to it, but, you have magical means of making sure that they stay alive, endure elements and the like. Find a way to get that made permanent on your animal companion. And in fact, other spells you might want to consider would be like Magic Fang, and then Greater Magic Fang once you're able to afford having those placed on your animal companions in a permanent means. And don't forget that you can equip your animal companions with magic items as well to help boost that effectiveness even further. Just imagine a tiger wearing an amulet of mighty fists, and you have enchantments like holy and the like placed upon them, or whatever is keyed to the enemies you're regularly fighting. I mean, I could totally see a ranger having an amulet of mighty fists with a bane effect keyed to their favorite enemies. That would be absolutely perfect. Hell, imagine that on a Tyrannosaurus. It's already doing an obscene amount of damage at 2d6 for its bite attack, and then all the other effects it has, especially that boost to strength, plus 8 bonus to their strength. That's a plus 4 bonus to hit and damage on top of that 2d6 right there. So it's absolutely wonderful. Definitely so many options that you have available here to make your animal companion that much more effective, especially when you're already picking out effective choices. If I were to recommend anything to avoid, just from, a pure numbers mechanical standpoint, be things like birds. A lot of the birds just really aren't that great. They do fly, and your ability to increase their intelligence scores means you can get some of the birds up to a point where they are able to talk with some rudimentary language skills, so you have even better means of talking back and forth and can give them more complex orders. So that definitely helps quite a bit. Just even giving even these animal companions, they all have an intelligence of 2, just bumping them up to a 3 allows for much better communication abilities. But if you don't do that, consider, if you describe to your DM that, you get your animal companion into a flanking position, they ask, okay, well, how would they do that? Aside from the fact that it's an animal companion, your DM should allow some measure of, benefit to maneuvering them around the battlefield. For most of these animals, you can say, well, it's just basic pack tactics. Attack from multiple sides. Wolves will surround and attack a creature going from different areas, trying to attack vulnerable positions. It's very, very basic and rudimentary. It's instinctive. Same thing for large cats. Tigers are ambush predators. So are bobcats and the like. Bobcats especially, or mountain lions, they're definitely ambush predators and prefer to attack a target from its blind spot, typically the back, so that they can get the jaws around the neck, do a death spiral kind of rolly thing to try to break the neck, or at least wear them down and start ripping open, cardiovascular stuff. Kind of gruesome, but yeah, it's basic pack animal tactics, so definitely something you can absolutely get away with. But what do you think? Go on down to the comments below. Are there any animals that you might recommend for animal companions? Do you agree with this list, or do you just flat out think I've completely missed the mark? Go on down to let me know by hitting those like or dislike buttons, and we'll engage in discussion. And remember, if you're new here to the channel, then go on down and hit that subscribe button and become a regular member here at the Gamers Den. But with all that said, I've been Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire. Thank you all so very much for your time, and you all have yourselves a good night.